Hey y'all, it's Redneck Biker 109. I'll just do a short 5-minute video here on an Eagle Mike fork brace and just a Acerbis SuperMoto Front Fender. So what I have here is you'll see the forks there. There's the mock-up of the fork brace, and it's just set in there right now. It's not tightened up. It's not. You can see the ends aren't on there. It's not torqued or anything like that. It's just there, just sitting there. So you can kind of get an idea of where it goes, and it's best to loosen all the bolts for that thing. There's 2 on the ends, of course, and then 4 on the top, and it should move around a little bit. And then here you'll see where I've got the Acerbis SuperMoto Front Fender just kind of mocked up on there. It's just sitting there so I can kind of get an idea of how I want it to look. It's not been cut, it's not been modified or anything at this point. So here's what I've done is I've taped, the blue tape is painter's tape, and then on the top there you'll see the grid that comes with the front fender. And that's just to kind of give you an idea of where your mounting holes and bolts are going to go. The reason for the tape is so that I can draw on the tape versus trying to see black lines on a black fender. It's not going to work that well. So what I've done is and it's probably hard to see, but you can see 2 lines on the left and the right there of the fender, almost all the way to the outside of that edge of the top of that graph. And those lines are just kind of giving me an idea of the width of the fork brace. And you see the fork brace there, there over there to the left. So there it is, all taped up, ready for me to decide on how I'm going to make my first cut. And I'm going to just do it real slow and not do too much at once. So what I did was I measured down 2 inches and made my first cut on both sides of the fender just to see how that's going to fit and how close that's going to put it to the tire, because I want the fender as close as I can get it to that front tire without it rubbing. And I didn't like that, so what I did is I went ahead and cut another inch out of it. I think the final measurement there is an inch from the top of that front fender. So there you'll see the cuts on both sides, and like I said, I actually made 3 cuts here. I edited out the other cut, but at first I cut 2 inches, then I cut 1.5 inches, and then I finally went to 1 inch. Sorry for knocking that over. And you'll see it's cut that way on both sides. And what I did was I used just a regular square and metal ruler to measure that and make my marks so that my marks would be the same. And there's a top-down view, and so you can kind of see what the fender looks like with the pieces cut out of it. And there's kind of a side view with the cutouts. And then if you don't know, the stock bolts that are in the fender that come on the motorbike, those bolts will fit in the Eagle Mike fork brace. The problem is that they're just not long enough. Now, if you're going to mount this fender in the stock location, they would work perfectly. You just match your old fender to the new fender, drill holes, and then mount it up. But I went to Lowe's, and those bolts there are 40mm bolts. They're Allen head bolts, and you can just, I took the old one with me so I could get the right thread size. I suppose you could take the fork brace with you too, but there's the fork brace mounted up and torqued down. Again, it's best just to have everything real loose. I tightened the side bolts first and then tightened up everything else. And there it is with my final cut. Like I said, was 1 inch from the top. There's the fender bolted to the fork brace. And that's all there is to it. And I just turned it sideways and mounted it on there. And you'll see how it looks. So, but check it out. It looks really good. I'm really happy with it. So, if you have any questions or comments, just leave me some, provide some feedback down there in the comment section. I'll make sure I get back to you. But there it is, loaded. Mounted as low as I could get it. And it's in the back. It's barely not touching, so it looks pretty sharp, and that's exactly the look I was going for. So there it is. So Thanks for watching. This is Red Biker 109. Appreciate you.